man, oh man, oh man. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. This back scratcher is really good. Number one. Number two, this chapter of One Punch Man. Wow. Ow.
You stoned?
Look,
listen!
Maybe this is hard cope. Maybe. It's possible, okay? Like I'm taking huge doses of copium. That's possible. I don't think Genos is dead.
Amazing!
I think it's hard pressed to kill the best boy of One Punch Man in earnest. Like genuinely so, he is gone from the series and he will not return ever in One Punch Man. That I think is very, 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 very hard to believe. But it was such a shocking moment to see Garo just plunge the same way Akainu did Ace, just bleh. And then seeing Genos, his face appears to be ripped in half, rest of his body just in tatters. Bang is on the ground, Blast is there still studly, as there's like radioactive black rain, and then just seeing Saitama's, he's bloodlusted. He's bloodlusted, yo. That's like a serious, I want to kill you, Popeye the Sailor. That's scary. So next chapter can't come quick enough. I promise you that. I need it now. I need my One Puncher fix now. If you haven't seen my live reaction, link in the box below to Cole Requiem and my Twitch.tv channel. Links in the box below where I did my live reaction to this chapter. And before we continue on, a brief word from today's sponsor. This video is brought to you guys and gals by none other than the Surfshark VPN. Consistently and repeatedly, over and over and over and over and over again, Surfshark VPN has been an outstanding VPN service for much cheaper than the rest of the competition out there without a doubt, and it has very damn good features. Like for example, the clean web feature that removes any phishing attempts, any malware, any malice that can come your way on the web. It can sweep and remove and protect your online privacy security no matter where you are in the world, considering how this service has servers that are located all over the world. Whether you have Android, whether you have iOS, whether you have Linux, whether you're using an Apple, whether you use a Mac, it doesn't matter what you have. Surfshark VPN has your back, even when you're going into the most dark and decrepit places of the internet. Furthermore, if you don't know, I myself do have region-gated content. It is what it is. But if folks want to get access to my own region-gated content, or even other region-gated content, whether it's on Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, whatever, you can easily use Surfshark VPN to get access to that. Simply put in the region that you want to be located in, and then boom, just like that, you get access to that said region-gated content. So go in the description box down below. Use code KOL, that is KOL, to get 83% off and 3 months free off of your purchase of Surfshark VPN. And on top of this too, for only 1 month only, up until July 4th, a great day, Surfshark VPN is offering a package deal with its antivirus service if you purchase its 2-year plan. Once again, check all that out, link in the box below, and without a doubt, make sure to use code KOL. Thank you, Surfshark VPN, for being awesome, and now let's get on to the video at hand. Good. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. This was the one that actually got folks crazy all over the internet. Because last chapter I thought was, when you have the gamma ray burst and all this, that was insane. This was the chapter. One Punch Man was trending on Twitter to a degree. Yes, it was. I can understand why. So even though it's been the longest arc in the series, like I think 5+ years, there's still plenty of intense, of hype, of jaw-dropping, and we're not done yet. So let's see what happens. But maybe in the next 2 or 3 months is all said and done. Let's talk about Garo's design for a second. So we find out what it actually looks like now in terms of the color scheme, where in the cover of this chapter, we get to see how he has a bluish aura to him, and then we get a clearer sense of the galaxies and the nebulas, and where his heart be located, there's some sort of unique-ish looking nebula. Like maybe it comprises of the Toriko cosmos mammoths, elephants the size of stars that form a nebula. Maybe it's that. But Garo, essentially, we see the form, and it's very, very studly. But keep in mind this, not if, when the anime gets to this moment, it's gonna be a pain in the tush. A massive pain in the ass to animate Garo. If people were complaining about Cell long ago and how it was hard to draw Cell because of all these dots, no. Yeah, CG. You know CG is coming. The design is epic. The design is so clean, it's so crisp. But in the anime, they're going to have to dumb that down because there is no shot they can do all these details while he's having these crazy dynamic movements. That's not happening. But Garo looks pretty damn good. And the blue hue is actually a pretty good choice, I'd argue. Garo is actually emitting, naturally, cosmic radiation. Yo. He is literally a walking cancer machine. Like, it's a vending machine where you can pick which cancer you want. Do you want prostate cancer? Boom. You want brain cancer? Boom. Testicular cancer? Ovarian cancer? Boom, boom, boom. Dog. What the hell? And the first to actually fall down are the kids. So, Ganmon-kun and Child Emperor, they collapse, they're gone. And by the way, during the Black Rain, shout outs to King and Flashy Flash. I know that King is unconscious, but he's protecting Fubuki and Tatsumaki, so King gets some love because he's doing Blast Home to do. Good stuff. But then, Flashy Flash, I don't know if he's unconscious or not. If he's actually still conscious, I'll be using his sword for support, but if he's still conscious, then big ups to Flashy Flash. But it shows you that Garo is so powerful. Mind you, just by grazing, this is crazy, just by grazing the power of God and overtly denying the power of God, and yet he is still this powerful. Like, not even Boros comes this close to Garo, when Garo is naturally exuding cosmic radiation. The Lovecraftian powers are strong within Garo, and he loves it. So when Blast comes out of nowhere and tells him, well, this is the nature of your divine power that you have, it's from God. And mind you, Bang hears this too. So now other characters in the future, unless Bang dies, which maybe, I have my doubts. Because obviously people that actually read the webcomic would know, but people are now understanding here that a higher power not only exists, but also is interacting in the world in a very deliberate and malicious way. So Bang should know, hold on, why is God controlling my disciple in such a sinister way, where my disciple is now seeking to conquer, but at this point in time, kind of destroy the world? Because Blast tells him right then and there, yo, if you stay here, you're going around killing the planet. Any attack that you unleash could literally kill all living things on this planet. And Garo, who actually wanted to rule the world with fear, is now actually saying, and I quote, ha 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 ha, divine power ain't bad at all. Just being around me means death. I'm finally getting to be a symbol of fear. Wait, hold on, whoa. Garo, you said that you wanted to rule the world through fear. Now you're all about killing people just by existing? This is the whisperings of God. Even though God doesn't have as much control over Garo as, let's say, Homeless Emperor, or let's say Psychos. So in theory, the same way God could just rip all the power from Homeless Emperor and just kill him, in theory, that can't happen with Garo. But nonetheless, he is still being manipulated somewhat by God. At least that's the assumption. And I think it makes a lot of sense here because, again, this power does come from God, despite it being like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the power of God. It's the whispering of the cosmos, like on some Bloodborne action. Just the Homeless Emperor wanted to wipe out all of humanity so the world could be his home, just how Psychos wanted to absorb all life on the planet and be one with the planet itself, be like Mother Earth, be Gaia. Garo's kind of following that trend. Now, there is Tariel still there, and the Eye Monster does notice that Tariel's there, so I get the feeling here That's going to play a role in the future in trying to sway Gaara away from what he's doing right now, because he said himself that he would no longer see Taro in this chapter. That's probably cap, because Taro is in the vicinity, and I guess at some point he's going to wind up something across Taro. Though right now, Gaara kind of reined in because his powers are, again, too powerful for this world. Almost like an S-class demon in Yu Yu Hakusho, where just his existence is so powerful, the world just can't handle it. Now, apparently, folks have a problem in Blast. At least, as far as I understand, some folks do. And I don't understand why. I mean, I guess maybe because the idea is that Blast should be, in theory, more powerful than Garo, but I'm not too sure why that'd be the case here. What Blast is doing against Garo as it is extremely impressive. Like, keep in mind this. Garo, I'd argue, is several orders of magnitude stronger than Lord Boros now. At least that's what I think at this point in time. Absolutely. And we see Blast in this chapter able to fight against him like pretty studly. The man wasn't tagged a single time. Even when Garo starts doing the gravity knuckles and the nuclear fission fist, he has that Blackbeard action, say ha ha ha, earthquakes and darkness, and he's raining haymakers of cosmic proportions. What's Blast doing? Like he's Doctor Strange. Boom, 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 boom. Like he's literally diverting all the energy away. He's studly. He's literally withstanding cosmic radiation and even this nuclear fallout with the Black Rain. He's actually studly. So it makes you wonder, okay, hold on, how did Blast get his powers? Like, how did Blast become this powerful to where he could fight against Garo at this level? Because he's using, in a way, the cosmic energy, controlling gravity, making black holes, and essentially altering cosmic reality itself and actually slipping through alternate dimensions. How can he do all of this? And this, I think, does tie to why Blast knows about God, knows about this sort of dimensional seal that either protects this world from God or kind of seals God itself in some capacity, and how he's able to travel through dimensions and knows about the cubes on the planet, things like that. So we need a very in-depth, a very long-form Blast flashback. At some point, hopefully you get that. But Blast's chapter was extremely impressive. And Blast gets a round of applause from me. Especially seeing this dimensional cannon thing playing the game Portal and then literally doing a Joestar and just continuously hitting Garo nonstop and then just sealing. That was epic. That was epic! People really don't like Blast? Or they hate the way Blast came into this chapter? How? I guess we have to wonder, okay, hold on. What happened to God and the hole in that rift? I mean, you would assume that his Ginyu Force Guardians are handling that. That's the safe assumption here. But just how they felt something was off with the planet when God did the Fajin and they made a continent. Now that God is making his steps, we saw last chapter, or chapter 4, where God made his steps on the world, and then he gave Garo this much power, so it makes a degree of sense for him to come back and check what's going on, because he may feel that something is amiss with the Force. So, that part I don't get. Because for me, this is all flames, all heat, all fire. I mean, maybe it takes away from Saitama, but Saitama, we have no idea where he was after that gamma ray burst. We have no idea. And by the way, also, mark it down too. Another feat for Saitama. Saitama can handle a gamma ray burst. Arguably, the same level of power that you'd get from an actual supernova, but just condensed into one wave. Saitama's able to handle that just fine. So, mark it down. Saitama has not reached his limits in any capacity, even with how powerful Garo is at this point in time. But Genos. Oh man, dude. That was a tough one. Again, I'm coping because I don't. Here's my thing. If Genos is actually dead, I think it means a lot for the story. Because, truth be told, a lot of the story is based on gags. It's based on satire. Genos dying. Not a temporary death like it's Dragon Ball Z. No, I mean permanently. Genos will no longer exist in the series. Saitama being, let's say, genuinely bloodlusted. Him kind of contemplating if he has the instincts for actually being a hero. I think that a lot of the foundation of the story changes when Genos dies. Maybe One Murata want to go this way. Maybe. But I have my doubts. Because then if Saitama does kill Garo and doesn't fulfill Tario's wishes, I mean, we could go this route. But this is a very dark, serious seinen route. Like, just like that. Like Vinland Saga Vagabond, real deal. Does One or Murata really want to go there? Like Kingdom, real deal. Are we really gonna go this route? Ooh. I have my doubts. And I think part of the reason why I also want to believe that Garo's alive too is because what we got in chapter 155 with the results chapter, when you have Flashy Flash, Platinum Sperm, and Garo running around in that constellation, when Saitama literally holds Garo's core and says, this part of you got stronger. The fact that you couldn't kill yourself and blow yourself up to take out all those black sperms, and how you actually protected Tatsumaki the entire time, this part of you got stronger. And the idea of limiters breaking, does it have to apply to only organic beings, meaning flesh and blood people? Is it possible where the idea of one's limiters breaking could apply to beings like cyborgs, going even further, robots, going further than that, let's say it could apply to maybe even inorganic matter itself? I do wonder. I think this would be a good case here where we've seen people over the course of the series, time and time again, kind of get stronger by breaking mental walls, and then going even beyond that, limiters, right, like with Garo. I wonder if someone like Genos could also in the future be in the process of breaking his limiters, or at least breaking mental walls, like Phoenix Man in a way, to where his robotic body is now more human in a way, so as long as his core or his heart is intact, if you would, he could still come back in some capacity. So let's say after this arc, we have Saitama give Genos' core and Genos' body to Dr. Kuseno, and then Kuseno can't bring Genos back, but then something, quote, unexpected happens, and then he's back. And then it's actually beyond Dr. Kuseno's computations. Something like that. So that's my hope here. That's my hope here. But moving forward to the next chapter. If Garo can actually match a killer move series punch, like full on match it. He said before that the normal consecutive punches was limitless power on the part of Saitama. But the serious is like unlimited, like unlimited squared. So my hope here is that maybe Garo's able to match the technique outside of power, and then he gets blown back, and then maybe all this crazy radioactive rain, maybe even the radiation itself, maybe, can be blown away in the shockwave, and then Garo's now moved off-world. This is really crazy, and we finish it somewhere in space, something like that, because the planet just can't handle Garo's existence. Because we see the fish in the sea are now dying in mass. Actually, too, the ship that was nearby, when Garo started doing the nuclear fission fist, if Blast for some reason, let's say, can't move the heroes into another dimension for whatever reason, then maybe Blast can move, or Saitama, after punching Garo off-world, maybe they can move the heroes into that ship as it's going through this protective sort of decontamination process. If they are moved there, this could actually allow Saitama and Garo to finish the fight on the planet nearby where they are right now. But again, that's kind of risky because the world itself could be dead in a matter of a few minutes if they continue to fight. So there's a good chance we go off-world. There's a very good chance we go off-world. But let's see. Let's see. Because this fight has been outstandingly impressive, and the character components for the story are getting stronger and better and better and better in both major and subtle ways. I don't want to say it's off the rip because there's still half a year left, but One Punch Man could once again be on pace to be the best manga I've read this year. Maybe.